Bandits Corner. Yo, what's happening? What's happening, people? Welcome back to the second episode. Welcome to All Things Football, the podcast corner. Bandits Corner. It's the second episode. I'm your host with the most, Stewie TV. You know, we're doing a bit of an outdoorsy theme. You know what I mean? We go anywhere, man. We as long as the lighting is right, proper, we do it. So today we're gonna be previewing, obviously, ultimately, the Champions League match tonight, or the Champions League matches that are going to be taking place tonight. We've got, let me start with the other teams. Obviously, we know which team we are going to be keeping a close eye on. Let me start with the other teams. We've got the second leg of AC Milan versus Napoli, which is going to be a big one. AC have the lead, 1-0 lead from the first leg, if I'm not mistaken. So AC have won the last two games against Napoli. There was the one in the league where they trounced them, they absolutely stomped on them, 4-0 out of nowhere, because Napoli have been on form this whole season with my man Vishka, with my man Victor Osimhen. So they've been on top form. So those L's against Milan were out of the blue. So we've got that second leg later on tonight, and obviously the big one. Don't mind that bucket there, you know what I mean? So yeah, the big one. We got Madrid El Rey versus Chelsea FC. You know how it goes. That's a big game. We're gonna be previewing those games. Obviously, we're gonna be giving our thoughts as well to the other quarterfinal match between Napoli and AC Milan, a big Italian rivalry there, big clash for them too. So AC Milan already have the lead. It's gonna be a tight one. It's gonna be finely balanced. It's on a knife edge. It's on a Songambeli. Those who don't know. It's on a knife edge. So I'm gonna go for my prediction for that game. Just to quickly touch on it briefly, I'm gonna go for, I trust Napoli. I trust that I think Victor Osimhen will be back for that game. Definitely. That's the second leg. You know, in the second leg you gotta go all out. So Victor Osimhen is gonna be back for that game. And then I trust my man Vishka, number 77. He's gonna come through. So I'm gonna go for a proper 3-1, if not 3-2, in favor of Napoli, and then they're gonna overall over the two ties, they'll go through. I mean, it's tough for me to say that because I got a small soft spot for Milan. You know, Milan are my team from way back. You know, I support Chelsea. Those who know, I only support Chelsea, but I've got a small soft spot for Milan. I used to have a Filippo Inzaghi shirt when I was a kid, so that's why I've got a bit of a soft spot for Milan. But for that second leg clash, I'm gonna have to go for a win for Napoli overall, and Napoli going through to the semi-final. And now for the big one, Chelsea versus El Rey. I mean, I call them El Rey. Because if you win a competition 15 times, then you merit to be called the kings of that competition. So we're going to be coming up against El Rey tonight at the bridge, where we got absolutely bodied the other game, the other day on Saturday against Brighton. We're going to be coming up against Real Madrid tonight. We're going to have to pray, guys, to all the Chelsea fans, Chelsea community worldwide, to those that are going to be watching this. If you of a Chelsea persuasion, we're going to have to pray for real, because we've got no form going into this game. We've got no confidence going into this game. Confidence is at a minimum. Maybe the only one who's got some sort of confidence would be my boy Mikhailo Mudryk, because he had a bit of a nice game. I forgot to touch on it on the last video. He had a bit of a nice game against Brighton. His touches were good, better. I gave him a strong 6-7 in that game because he played better. So he could be, someone going into this game with a fresh, fresh plates, clean slate, and he's going to be looking to impress even more. So he could be the only one going into it with like any type of confidence. The rest is in God's hands. Honestly, I will support, I will back the team. I hope we win, but based on the season, based on recent form, hopes aren't very high. But I will back the team, I will support, as always. I trust. Well, I don't trust. Let me not cap. I don't trust at all. But I hope, due to the fact that we're at the bridge, home advantage, we're gonna have the crowd on our back, hopefully, because sometimes the crowd at the bridge sometimes be lacking. You know what I'm saying? I mean, this is something that we need to speak about as Chelsea community fans and everybody worldwide. Stamford Bridge does be lacking sometimes, but I guess just like in any stadium, they need the home team to be on the front foot. They need the home team to be playing good so that they can also have that wind in their sails to support their team. So I guess it's a 50-50. So we're going to talk a little bit about also, before we get to the prediction for that game, we're going to talk a little bit about Todd Bowley receiving some words from the Chelsea fans on the stands or in the stands while he was sitting there on his posh VIP box, the one where we remember Roman used to sit. So he got a bit of stick from the fans. The fans told him their 2 cents. What I think with that, I think obviously the fans are frustrated, as we all are, angry. The results, the season has just been absolutely terrible. So the fans are angry, and I don't blame them. It's only natural, but they have to trust the owners. Those guys are multimillionaires. Todd Bowley, Bedadik Bali, the Clear Lake Consortium, those guys are not just gonna come and invest in a team and want to see it burn to the ground. That's absolutely not gonna happen. It just so happens that it's been a rocky year, like I said in the last video. Check that out, by the way. Drop a like and all those other things that YouTube people always say. Needless for me to repeat. So obviously they're not going to want their money to just fall and the club to burn into ruins. They're going to invest, as they have. They invested £600 million or whatever currency into the team. So don't expect them to want the team to fail. That's just ridiculous. They want the team to do as best as it can. Hence why they're taking their time with making sure they hire the right manager. As sources have said, it's between Julian Nagelsmann and Luis Enrique. Very good managers could have a good impact on the team, either one of them, so they are making sure. But as for the fans giving them their 2 cents, I mean, it's only normal, it's only natural. We're gonna move on to the next point, which is the threats which Real Madrid will pose to us tonight. I mean, it's no hidden fact that Madrid, El Rey, coming into it, I mean, they haven't been great in La Liga. Yeah, La Liga. They haven't been great, but El Rey in the Champions League, there's this mysticism with those guys. But like I said before, we are home, so we should fight, we should push. But yeah, their threats are not hidden. They've got the current reigning Ballon d'Or winner, the best player in the world, Karim Benzema, on form. He's got, I don't know how many goals he scored against us in the Champions League. From the first time we met to last season to this season, he always scores. So I'm crossing my fingers that hopefully, by God's grace, he doesn't score. But if he does, I won't be surprised. Don't mind that bad. You know what I mean? So yeah, that is that. And also they've got Vinicius Junior and Karim Benzema have got this telepathic understanding between the two, whereby they just find each other with their eyes closed. just with the signal, with the password. They've got it on lock. They've been playing together for many years now, and it's been, it's been nurtured, that partnership. It's been blossoming. It's been doing the most. So those are the obvious threats. They've got other players in their team. We're not going to go through them much because the focus is on us. But yes, this is all things football. The Pundits Corner. We're going to have more pundits as the channel grows. There's many guys that I trust in their football knowledge. Shout out to them. They're going to be joining soon as we expand and as we grow, because we're still in the beginning. And yeah, things are bound to get better, but we needed to get started. We needed to start somewhere. So thank you so much to all the people that viewed the last video. I appreciate y'all, man. Much love. God bless. And then the final prediction. Obviously, I'm gonna be biased. I'm gonna be so biased. I'm gonna be biased. I'm gonna be very biased. Don't let them know that Chelsea, I'm not sure on the full-time score, but I'm gonna go for, since everything is organic, everything is off the cuff, on the spot, I'm gonna go for, we need at least 2 goals. We need at least 2 goals in the game. Man, I'm gonna be optimistic. Optimism and realism are not the same thing. Someone can be optimistic, but there's also being realistic. And unfortunately, we have to be realistic as well as optimistic. That's for me anyway. I choose to be optimistic. But in the back of my mind, I have got realism. So in my optimism, I will say I will go for a 2-0. Hopefully, optimistically, 2-0, 90 minutes, push them over to extra time. They might get a goal in extra time, and then we might get a third. If, by God's grace, we just have the game of our life, the game of our season so far. So overall, I'm going to go for 3-1, which makes the tie at my maths coming into question. Mr. Mazzore, shout out. Anyway, that will make the tie. Madrid had 2 goals in the first leg, 3 for Madrid and 3 for Chelsea. That would mean we will go to a penalty shootout. And if we get to a penalty shootout, we need to count our grace. We need to count our blessings. We need to thank God. Because if we get to a penalty shootout, then it's equal. It's anybody's game. Because as it stands, we are the pundits, everybody in the pundits corner, all the pundits all over the world, all the medias, everybody will say that Chelsea is for sure losing. And that brings me to my more realistic prediction. I'm not going to say the score. I'm just going to say we're going to play better, hopefully. But in a realistic sense, we are going to lose. And we are going to lose by 2 goals to 1. I'm just going to say 2 goals to 1. I don't want to rub salt into the wounds of my own heart, into all the hearts of Chelsea fans all over the world. But we all know, we all take this with a pinch of salt, because we understand the type of bad season we have had. So that is the prediction. I'm going to go for those 2 predictions. My optimistic prediction, which says 3-1. And overall, went to penalty shootouts, and then Chelsea will win. Or realistic prediction is going to go for 2-1 Madrid, and they're going to win. This breaks my heart. 5-1 overall on aggregate. So those are the Champions League predictions for tonight. Tomorrow as well, we're going to have Bayern Munich and Man City second leg. Just going to touch on those as well really quickly. We're going to have Man City, Bayern Munich. I predict Man City to go through. Man City are on just different class, you know. I got much respect for Man City and Guardiola and Pep. I don't mind that video at the end where he falls on his seat. It's just one of the bloopers of the Premier League. I found that funny to put on there. Much respect for Pep. I see Man City going through in that one. Haaland obviously is going to score, so that's all I'm going to say. The other one, who plays? Let me just check on my notes here. The other semi-final. Benfica and Inter Milan. I nearly forgot, yo. Benfica, Inter Milan. Inter Milan have got a surprising lead. I thought Benfica, based on their form this season, they've been great. I thought they would have beat Inter, but then Inter with experience, the Italians, they do it ugly. They do it, in a very not so stylish way. They got their 2-0 lead. So I'm going to go for Benfica to come back. Even though it's at the San Siro, I'm going to go for Benfica to produce their football, which they've been producing this whole season. They got their backs against the wall. They must come through on a high note to save the tie. So I'm going to go for Benfica to go through on that one. Not going to be specific or precise on the final scores, but that's the build-up. That's the preview for all the Champions League quarterfinal games that are coming up this midweek. Thank you so much for watching. Drop a like. Thank you to my peoples that subscribe. All of you, you know yourselves. Round of applause. Thank you so much. I appreciate you guys. To all the more people that are gonna get an opportunity to see the video, like. If you want to comment on how we doing things. We just want to do it off the cuff, on the spot, and to make it as organic as possible. So drop a comment if you feel like it, and do all the other nice things, and hit the sub. Shout out Stewie TV, your host with the most. This was All Things Football, the Pundits.